Hello and welcome to this week's episode of TEACHmas. Well, it's actually episode 2 of TEACHmas because you've already had one this week. Today, I've got my beautiful best friend Amber here.
I am a gift that keeps on giving.
She is, hence the bow. And she's going to help us film the first training session of TEACHmas. So today we are going to do flat work and we're about to go set it up and we're going to do it with both ponies. So we're going to do levels. So obviously red is baby and quite green. So we can start from the lower level and then go to a slightly more advanced level. Not that Maggie is amazingly schooled because it's in her downtime, but it will give you a good idea of what you can do with it. So best go get set up.
Off we go.
Tell me that you'll make it here in time. Yeah, this boy is on my mind. The number one thing on my wish list. Oh, Santa, tell me you know that I've been good. I put the lights up just for you. You're the only one who can make my dreams come true. I could see the end until he looked my way. I used to be blue, now I'm brand new, all wrapped up in red. I keep on dreaming of his face. He just melts my heart away. I'm all glittery 'cause he makes it feel like Christmas every day. Now the winter's here to stay. All I want is this embrace. Maybe it's crazy, but he makes it feel like Christmas every day.
Please, have a sacrifice.
I don't want another sacrifice.
Please, have another sacrifice.
No, I don't want another sacrifice.
You're so skinny. Have another sacrifice.
No, I don't want another sacrifice.
I don't
Thank
want
you very
another sacrifice.
much. Ready?
Yes, we are filming already.
Oh, we are filming, are we?
May
Okay.
begin.
So, I am on board Teddy Bear. I have limited the festivities to an enhanced neck strap because I don't want to be scaring him and he's being such a good boy with this. I'm already having a good boy. Is Maggie calling you? We're already having a wander around our exercise. So this is my square exercise. I didn't make it up. It's I think it's quite universally used, but it's a brilliant exercise to make sure that you ride for straightness off of your outside aids, because if you start pulling them around on your inside rein, you won't make the corner.
Just thinking like basics, how many poles have you actually used for this?
Okay, so we've got 4 poles per corner, so that's 16, isn't it?
Oh,
4
quick
times
maths.
I know it was a quick math, wasn't
Quick
it?
maths.
So you don't have to use poles, you can use anything, because obviously 16 poles is quite a lot, and it's literally taken up all of our available poles outside the arena. You're a good boy. Well done, sweetie.
So what can you use instead? So if I've not really got any poles available to me?
You could use dressage boards. A lot of people use cut-up drainage pipe as dressage boards, so if you've got anything like that, you can use that. You could also use things like sports cones. Basically, all you need is, I'm hoping the wind's not too bad, all you need is something that guides you around the corner and makes you not cut the corner and be quite disciplined on what lines you're riding. You could use jump wings, so you could put up 2 jump wings here on the inside, and you can also limit how many poles you need. If you've got an arena or a field you're riding in with 2 square corners, you can get rid of the outside poles at 2 of the corners by sticking it at one end. The only reason I've done it like this is it's harder to ride without any sides to keep your horse's balance for you. So if you have the ability, it's best to almost have it in a space with no fence line to balance off of.
And roughly how far apart have you done these? And like, will you change them dependent on what kind of horse you sat on?
Yeah, so you can, we've just gone for like an average width. I don't know, this is probably a bit over 2 meters wide to ride through and round.
Yeah, I think it's about probably 2 of your normal walking strides, isn't it?
Yeah, that's probably a fair description. Good job we've got Amber here to explain it. So I've also made it roughly like a 20 by 20 square-ish. I've not gone around measuring it, we've just thrown it out by eye quickly. But it's you can make it a smaller square, you can make it a bigger square, you can make the space between your right angle turns wider or narrower depending on how advanced your horse is. Obviously, if your horse is quite green, you want it wider so you can make the turn. If you're on an advanced horse that can sit and do a quarter pirouette around the turn, you can go a little bit narrower. Every time I get to here, the wind like really blows into my face.
It's a bit breezy, folks. Hold on to your hands.
It's breezy. So like with Teddy for this exercise, we can build up. It can go from all levels really. He can do this exercise in walk and trot, and we can do lots with it there. And then it gets more advanced with Maggie. We won't move the poles or anything for her. We will just keep going and change the exercises that we are doing with it.
So what kind of pace is this just a walk exercise?
So I'm just working him in and walk around it so he gets a good feel to it. He's better on the right rein at the minute, a little bit more balanced this way. So that's why I've just changed the rein, and I'm gonna take him out of the square, do a little trot. You're a clever boy. Good boy, Teddy.
Oh, what's that?
That was the spookiest it's ever been. Did the walker go?
We're not laughing.
He says there's a horse
We are,
on
but
the
we're not
walker.
allowed, so shh, we're not
Good
laughing.
boy. Come on, darling. Good boy, Teddy bear. Oh, he says I've been within the safety of my square, and now I've left it, and something made me jump. You're a good boy. It's all right, sweetheart. You can walk past next time. Good boy. Good boy. He's just a walker. Good boy. Good boy. There you go. It's not so bad. Good boy. So just for context, guys, I am being completely transparent with Ted. He is beautiful. He is gorgeous. He's going to make a top level event horse. That means he is not dead in the brain. He has quick reactions, which means I need quick reactions too. And he has this weird fascination with the horse walker that makes him spook at it, even though he goes on it. So I actually really like it when they do. Come on, you can get over it now. Good boy. I really like it when they do a bit of something, because he didn't go off rodeoing. Actually, it just shows how genuine he is. He's allowed to have a spook in a moment. Right, good boy. So I'm just giving him a little trot and a work in. He has to concentrate, he has to use the corner he doesn't like, and get on with it. Good boy. As you can see, he's learning to work a little bit rounder, but my biggest challenge at the moment is his straightness. So he bends well to the right, but he actually falls out through the left shoulder a bit, and I'm hoping, yes, there's the walker. I'm hoping that this square exercise will just help him learn to turn from the outside of his body while bending through the inside of his body. That's the biggest spook he's ever done. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, so we've had a walk around it, we've had a trot outside the arena. So now I'm just preparing him for the trot aid, and then we're going to have a trot round it. So my job as a rider, especially on a wobbly baby, is to look after my own balance first. So I'm looking up at each corner to my next corner, and you can see he wants to fall on his outside shoulder. So my outside leg, outside rein is just there supporting, almost as if there is a bungee around the outside of his body, just to help guide him around the corners. Now, if I wanted to make this exercise harder for him, all I need to do is add in a transition. Good boy. So I just done a walk transition, walk to corner. Good boy. And then do a trot transition, because he's still learning what these leg and rein aids and body aids are. So So when I slow down my ride, close my knee and thigh, he walks now. But he doesn't walk as quickly as Maggie would walk, for example, because he's still learning. Good boy. He says that walk is still spooking him. Good boy. And then we're going to trot on. And as we get better and better, I will encourage him to be sharper off the leg. I don't mind him taking a bit more leg support at the moment. Then what I can do is really test our steering out and pop onto a small circle on the inside here, where he's maintaining his bend. This will all get much harder when we go for the other rein. Good boy. Good boy. Done. Good boy. No, there's a mountain block there. Good boy. So before I enter the circle, I'm just letting him get his balance on the left rein. And we want to push his centre of balance up and across this way, because the corners are much harder, because he struggles to balance his body on this rein, because he's sat with his centre of balance a little bit further over to the left. So what I'll do is little pressure releases down the inside rein, and I'll just keep looking up to the next corner. Yes, it is really hard for them. You wouldn't want them, like even now he's just gone, I'm pooped already. You wouldn't want to keep them on the square for hours. One, they're going to get bored, and two, it is really hard work. So you're riding quite a tight right angle turn. I mean, if everybody rode a turn like this in their dressage test around a corner like this, everyone would be getting much better dressage scores. And then you've got to ride a straight line, which especially for a baby is really hard. He's just spotted that the horse has come off the walker. He's just got this weird obsession. Where is Bunny gone? Good boy. But in walk, so like with anything, we get them good at what they're doing in walk first, and then trot and then canter. If we were describing his centre of balance, we want it to be in the middle, central to their body, so that they can bend left, they can bend right very easily, very symmetrically. And what happens with babies and any horses through training, as with humans, we have a dominant side that we prefer. So for Teddy, at the moment, his centre of balance, rather than sitting at the centre, if we imagine it's at the pommel, for example, I'd say instead of being there, it's off to this side, which actually makes life much easier being off to this side when I want to get right bend. But what it actually means is his body is falling out to the right through his shoulder. So what I have to do as a rider is I have to use my left leg, left rein, to straighten him up so he doesn't give me too much bend, so that he's straighter on the right rein. What that then means is on the left rein, I also have to work extra hard left rein, left leg, in order to encourage his bend this way. Because what that then does is, from having the centre of balance here, we push it across with our left leg to nudge it back to the middle. We don't want to do it so much that it nudges it right over to the right hand side, but what we're doing is we're naturally sending it back to the centre. Then he will be able to bend both ways evenly, and life will be much easier for him.
I'm thinking of these a bit like a recipe. So how long's your prep time? I think it took us about 5 minutes.
5 minutes set up with the two of us, probably 10 minutes with one rider,
So
one person.
5 to 10 minutes prep.
Yeah, you'd probably have to figure out what you're using if you haven't got poles, but you definitely don't have to just use poles. All you need is a visual for where you need to go. And then I would say this cook 20 minutes. I think this exercise goes right from mild to hot chili. I'm loving the scale. If you want to do a mild chili, you can not even ride through my tram lines. You can ride round the outside of these poles. Now you'll notice with Teddy, I've not cantered him. He is cantering. I canter him every time I ride him in the arena, but he says, oh, there's a horsey. Good boy. He would not be ready in even the next month to canter in here. That would be your hot chili, but your mild chili, you can work around a bigger square and just work around getting your bend around the corner, which obviously when we've just been discussing helping him bend left and move his center of balance, that is an excellent exercise for him. Then you can just sort of go into your medium and start doing your work within the square. And it also depends on the pace. Everybody, I hope, should be able to ride their horses around this in walk, unless you are literally at the stage where you've just got on your green baby. I think is like actually only about a month of work under saddle, and he can do this in walk and trot. Some babies might take a month under saddle and not be ready for this in walk and trot. It does depend on how coordinated they are. But you can do everything from a walk to halt transition to a halt to canter transition in this exercise, depending on how advanced your horse is. Good boy. He's already improving for doing this exercise and getting off that left shoulder. And I'm having to use my left rein so much less. So I'm able to give and retake with my left rein, and he can hold his own balance. Because I don't want a horse that I have to force to stay where he is. I want him to figure out self-carriage. Good boy. Ow. Good boy, walk on. He says, I'm tired now. See Auntie Amber? She grew. We okay with this situation? Oh yes, we're fine. Good boy. So as he's getting tired, he's getting slightly less reactive to the leg. So what I do rather than kicking him more is I take my leg away from his side. Oh, now we've gone whizzy. Zooming. Steady, Teddy. Else we can't get round the corners. Good boy. There we go. That's it. Good boy. So I take my legs away from his side and then put the pressure on, and the absence of the pressure often can actually help a horse out rather than nagging. Now you notice as we're getting tired, the leg's just getting a little bit more difficult to stay straight. Don't run Amber over. So I'll just do this again, and especially this way with his centre of balance, I really want to look after the outside aids. And really important for me to be looking to my next corner to keep my body up. Left leg to straighten him there. Good boy. Good boy. Right, and then just to finish off, because he quite likes going over poles, Good morning, Pineapple. Good morning, Pineapple. You're meant to do the next bit.
Pink Pineapple, looking very good, very nice.
Very good, very nice.
Times in life your best friend asks you to do something and really you should say no, but you say yes, and then you find yourself in situations like this.
Okay then guys, because the Great British weather hates us, it's pouring with rain and very windy, so I do hope you can hear me okay. We have done a quick change of ponies and we are now with darling Miss Maggie. Because we are taking the exercise up a level in difficulty, we needed the elf suit to help out. Amber forced me, okay? So
involved here. There was no bribery, no coercion, purely voluntary.
So Maggie strongly dislikes this weather, so we're just going to go with the flow and hope for the best. I'm just working her in. Obviously, you've already seen the exercises that you do for the work-in with Teddy, with the trotting around the corner. Maggie's much more balanced, providing she's not trying to put her bottom into the wind. She can do the trot, walk, trot pretty instantly. She is a little bit prone to giving me a bit too much bend sometimes. Ooh, good girl. And she is going slightly speedy because it's raining a lot. But we're, like I say, we're working with that. So obviously, let's just recap what we've done. We've done walking the poles, doing walk halt transitions, trotting the poles, doing trot walk transitions, and also trotting a smaller circle, probably like a 12-meter circle within these poles here. Now you can start to increase the difficulty with your more advanced horse by starting to add for a little bit of shoulder in as you go around the square, just to change their positioning, shoulder in, then straight. And they have to react pretty quick to that shoulder in to then get there in time before your corner comes up again. You can also go onto your smaller circle and add in a little bit of travers on the circle. Now if this is a bit too hard in trot, build it in walk first. But basically we're not asking for perfect dressage standard moves. We just want to move their body around as we go. And then you can leg yield in from there, and then when you get straight, little leg yield out, and basically moving your horse in and out of the poles as and when you think it is suitable. So I'm just going to bump up to canter now. Give her a little moment before we enter the square. Look, when you're going round the first corner to your next one, and that really helps your horse maintain balance as you go. You need to steer with your legs, particularly your outside leg, and use your inside leg for the bend. The rein is a huge amount of work other than supporting your horse. Maggie says she is so cross with this weather. Good girl. Then, from there, if your horse's canter is balanced enough, go and pop yourself onto a small circle inside the square. If that's going well, you can start to add in some transitions. And trot. Good girl. Trot down the corner and canter. Now if you want your canter transition to be harder, you want to canter up on the straight line. If you want it to be easier, use a corner. So, trot. We're going to get our balance in the trot here. That turns hard. And then as we come around the corner, canter. Good girl. If that's too easy for you, which to be fair, Maggie, who hasn't done a huge amount of schooling since Osgerton, that I would need to work on a fair amount more, you can then start adding in some canter walk transitions. Best place for that, on your way into the corner, because it helps to sit them up. Now Maggie's aren't the best in the world. She quite likes going walk canter, but this is a great exercise to practice it with. Good girl. Good girl. And we're up to the canter. And then again, I'm going to do a canter walk. So I'm going to grow tall in my body and take a deep breath out. And And that was a better transition already. Good girl. So we'll have a little look at the other rein. So I'm just giving you a taster. She's probably not ready to do too many of those yet. Just check my microphone's still there. It's still doing okay. Good girl. And we'll just get her going again from the trot. Getting a feel on this rein. getting a feel of getting around these corners using my outside rein, outside leg supporting. Me looking up to my next corner each time. You're a good girl. And then I'll change my diagonal, that would be wise. And then we'll add. Good girl. Oh, she says it's going in my ears. That is hard rain. Okay, good girl. Not nice, not very good, not very nice. Right, into the square. Right. Good girl. Always looking up to the next corner, not down at the corner you are going round. Good girl. And then I'm going to add in a circle, 12-meter circle in here. It's a bit of a bend, a little bit of bend there. You can work up to a bit of a working pirouette if you like, and add in the traverse on the circle. But as with everything, just keep it simple. Do canter, trot, canters. Good girl. Good girl. Get the balance before you canter, and then canter. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. And then we can change the rein. Good girl. And these aren't perfect, but I think this exercise is a very good exercise for softening them over their back and increasing their mobility and straightness as we go. Now we are doing it in a stretchy canter, so she is getting absolutely nothing from my rein aids. She is having to steer off of my seat and my body and my legs. Good girl. Adding a semicircle in, and then make life easier. Let her go a little bit later. Good girl. Good girl. It's not that spooky. Good girl. And I always like to finish off anything I'm doing with a stretchy trot. Red's not at a point to be balanced enough for it yet, but any of the more advanced horses, even if they haven't started in a stretch, which I do usually start them in a stretch too, they certainly finish off with a nice stretch to let their muscles loosen off from their session. Good girl.
I think it's on.
Testing, testing.
Looks like a wet. Look at that.
Is that one off?
No.
Is it on? Yeah.
Dying.
We're sharing a microphone. We're going to zip through this. The other one's died.
Yeah, dead, gone by.
Dead, gone by. Anyway, Amber and I hope that you guys found this useful. We wanted to add a disclaimer on. So, both of us are actually qualified riding instructors. We've done our Pony Club courses.
Yeah.
But
Pony Club coaching certificate
yeah,
2 years ago.
yeah, exactly. And we've also got a degree in equine sports science each. So we're fairly well educated.
Yeah, we don't share that like the microphone. We've got one each. One each.
One each, yeah.
Not like the microphone.
You know, and Amber's ridden up to intermediate eventing level, and I've ridden to 2-star now. And yeah, we're not doing this as coaching sessions, but it's more as an inspiration for you to get into the ring and go and get some practice done in winter, because we know how hard it can be.
Yeah, it's wet, it's cold, it's miserable, it's horrible, and we know a lot of you guys work, so sometimes you've got 15-20 minutes to actually ride on an evening, and you want to do something useful and constructive, but trying to think of these exercises, you know, is quite tricky. So hopefully you can use some of these and they'll actually be of some benefit to people.
Yeah, it's definitely an exercise both you and I use for our horses at home, and I just thought it'd be a really good one to start off with, because you can literally do it right from a baby up to a much more experienced horse that's well schooled, and again, because it's so intensive, it doesn't take too long. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we need to do a big thank you to Amber for coming and filming me and standing in the wind, the rain, the wind and the rain.
It's gone. We are broken like the microphone.
Yes. Well, at least this one's still clinging on. Somebody's clinging on to some sanity. She did make me dress up. This is how we've ended up here.
It's a solid outfit. It's a solid outfit.
Yeah, definitely.
You are a 10 out of 10.
I like my necklace personally. I think that works well.
And I am just the gift that keeps on giving.
Of course, always a gift that keeps on giving.
Always.
On that note, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and tune back in on Wednesday for the next episode of Vlogmas. Bye-bye.
I'm all glittery